Okay.
We are live on Facebook.
We're alive. Look at this team. I'm so glad it's not just me. We have Kyle, Lori, Jamie, and Barbara. And these are all graduates. And we are here to have the discussion of why you guys are in love with astrology. You don't need me to do this, but I'm going to help. So let's start with the conversation. The card is open. Is that crazy? Twice a year. It only happens twice a year. We have a group of mentors. There's about 25 mentors come together to let every one of you that are watching this pick your mentor and start the school. But today we're talking to people who are just finishing levels 1 and 2. Yes, you've all finished level 2. And so, okay, I want to look at you, Kyle. What is going on with your head? You got crystals all over you.
Yeah, those are actually a piece that we have in my shop in North Carolina. So it's green screen though.
It looks like your head looks like Uranus. Tell us a little bit, Kyle, since you're up there on the top of my, tell me a little bit about how you found us and why you love astrology, or give us a story.
Well, I started with astrology like 2003. I just kind of was looking into it because my horoscope didn't exactly fit me. So I started.
What sign are you? Start with that. What sign are you, Kyle?
I'm Capricorn Sun, Cancer Rising, and Gemini Moon.
And you must have some Aquarius. How did you get all that stuff over your head?
Actually, no Aquarius.
There's no Aquarius. That's all. So it's Gemini. You got a little bit of a Gemini creativity. Okay. So you asked the same thing, Kristen. I feel better. Okay. So go ahead. So you were studying astrology, or you were interested in the chart didn't fit?
Yeah. And so I started looking at it and I started doing birth charts. I ended up having a psychic for a roommate. So we sat on the porch and talked about charts for hours. And then probably 2 weeks before the card opened up last class, I found you watching random videos on YouTube. I think one of your videos popped up, or your ad popped up for the class. I waited till the last minute and booked 1 and 2. And then
who was your mentor?
I had Sarah Nelson for 1 and Nikki for 2.
And so were you like skeptical? You obviously believe in woo-woo. It's kind of a joke. But your relationship with astrology, were you curious whether it was concrete, or you knew that?
I knew it already because I see patterns, so I could look at a chart before the class and kind of tell you what was going on around it, but I didn't have the basics to go along with it.
And then what happened?
So apparently I was missing fire. So I had to embrace my fire that was missing. And so actually, before I found you, I had done a correspondence course in astrology, finished it, bought a laptop, software, and then found you and took your class.
And now are you obsessed?
Yeah, I'm actually, I guess in a few weeks, I'll actually come out of the closet as an astrologer and start.
Where is your Mercury? Is it in Capricorn?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're going to do your homework. That makes me happy.
In my 6th house.
In your 6th house. Okay, so you're built for the job.
Yes.
We all know what that means. So the level of his thought process is an earth sign, and now it's an earth house, and now we got the like crystals over the head. This is the symptom of having Mercury in an earth sign and an earth house. You grow up with, that's crazy. Okay, we're going to come back to Kyle. I'm coming over here to Jamie. Jamie, what sign are you? Tell us your chart. Good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah, it's I am a Leo sun, Pisces moon, and Libra rising.
Oh, that's sweet. And where do you live, Jamie?
I live in Canada, near Toronto.
So tell us your story. How did you find us?
Well, I found you, I was doing another online course by Ashley Turner in the yoga world, and she interviewed you. And it was just so entertaining and reminded me of how much I've always loved astrology. And from there, I started watching your videos every 2 to 3 days.
And are you happy you took the class, Jamie?
I am so happy I took the course. It was so much fun. I'm using it every day. Yeah, I just loved it. I loved the whole thing. I'm sad it's over, actually.
Well, there's level 3. Don't give up.
I have not given up. No, I have not.
And you're using it every day with your students?
With my work and in my personal life, I find I use it every day. I just find now it helps you even without knowing somebody's birth chart. Your very first lesson on the elements. I find now when you meet somebody, you can kind of get an idea of what their elemental distribution probably is, and from there, you can communicate differently. And
Exactly.
that's what I've been finding has been most helpful, both professionally and personally.
Like yesterday, standing in the grocery line, the lady that was checking us out was such a speed freak. She was like doing it this, blah, 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 and I was like, let's try and guess what element she is. And sure enough, yeah, it's kind of a sneak preview into people's psyches.
Yes.
And Lori Reynolds, how did you get in here? You snuck in here. I love that. Tell us the story. What sign are you and what your relationship with the classes are?
I am a Gemini sun with a Libra moon, so double air, and an 29 degrees Taurus rising.
Thank God for that.
Barely made that one, yeah. Thank God.
How did you find us?
I stumbled upon a Debra Silverman live and on my
Like
Facebook.
right now, like right
Yep.
now.
Right
Someone's
now.
Right now, you guys, you're changing, the four of you, Barbara, Jamie, Kyle, and Lori, you're changing someone's life because they're watching this.
Yep.
They're sitting on the fence. They're like, I don't know, what astrology? I mean, really, is this class work? And Lori, you would say,
Absolutely. Yes. And you know, I was a certified astrologer. I did it back in my 20s. By 30, I was certified. I was practicing. I had a really, I don't know, it was pretty successful, but I kind of burnt out because I didn't have a way to practically apply it, which is the complete difference with Debra Silverman Applied Astrology. So this time around, it's totally different. And I felt a calling. I felt a calling back to it. And I didn't really know. I was, what do I need to do? I saw your live and I immediately tried to get a reading from you. And I found out that you had retired from reading. So I got one from one of your certified astrologers. And it was amazing. It was on my birthday in June.
oh, wow.
And it was amazing. She helped me understand what happened. Back,
Who was it?
Melina Metz.
Yes.
And she
The
gave me
mini
some
me.
straight talk about Saturn and boundaries and how I need to find that. And then
Yay. See, our favorite Gemini Libra. So the point of this is, so Kyle was flirting with it for a long time and then settled in. Jamie's was, I love that, a yogi, suddenly finds herself obsessed every day. And Lori is an old-fashioned, good old astrologer who turned updated into it. Because that is, I have to say, my claim to fame is practicality. Like, that's, I can't stand
Absolutely.
spirituality. I don't know. I get not judgmental, but maybe judgmental about too many words. After so many words, I'm like, is it going to grow corn? Is there a value to this?
will it manifest?
Will it woman fest? That's what I call it.
Yes.
We got Kyle.
Okay.
Okay, Barbara Lyons. Barbara, tell us a story.
Yes, so I'm a Taurus sun, a Sagittarius moon, and a Libra rising. I saw you somehow connected with Colette Baron Reed, and I got something in my inbox. And so I'm like, okay, I'll sign up for the 3 video thing. And at first I'm like, okay, well, at least she's entertaining me. And then I was like, oh my God, like she makes sense and she's very practical. And so that appealed to me because I didn't know how I felt about astrology. I do like a lot of woo-woo, but I was like, I don't know how much I believe in that. And then I said, well, gosh, it makes sense. And so when it made sense to me in the 3 videos, then it kind of hooked me a little. Then I watched every video you had on YouTube. I was like, I'm not joining. And so I watched every video and then I was like, okay, I want to do this. And then I jumped in.
And so did you finish level 2 and do a reading, Barbara?
Yeah, I was, prepped too much and was very nervous, but it went really well. And from her, I got a couple more actual paying clients because she really liked her reading.
Exactly. So let's just name that. So you can finish level 2. It sounds like expensive to start with, like because you're going to university, you're going to school. It's not pretend. It's not a woo-woo class. You're going to leave level 2, as all 4 of these people will say, being able to do a reading. And you really can get paid if you do your homework. And if you're a avid astrology student like Lori, before you met me, for sure you're going to get paid because you've got enough information, but what we give you is a script. So Kyle, how did your level 2 reading go?
It went well. I got rave reviews. My mentor, she was impressed with it. I didn't follow your script enough, but a little too much astrology talk. But the person I read for, she was doing the interview course. So she was already into it. So she understood a lot of what I was saying. So that helped out a little bit with giving her the more information that she would understand. And I think I helped push her toward probably doing the class the next one.
I know. I feel like we're all drug dealers. I swear. I bet every one of you has said to your friend, "This is the best class. You have to take it, right?" Yes, yes, yes. And then I feel self-conscious because I feel like my dad really was a used car salesman. So it's like part of me gets a little concerned, like I'm selling the same old thing, but every single student, and this is what it's not. I'm right now, you may know, some of you, that I'm designing a new program called Tell Me a Story, and I'm watching it come out. Like when I did level 1 and I designed the class, it wasn't like I thought it through. This is such a bad thing to say. I didn't think it through. It fell out of me. And then level 1, because it starts with the elements, and because the elements are so practical, you cannot not take level 1 and learn something. It's impossible to finish that class and not have a personal transformation if you do the homework. And so I think that's true for all 4 of you. And then level 2, how was level 2 different, Jamie? How was that for you going into level 2?
Level 2 just brought more depth, I guess, to everything. The first level was all about learning about myself, which was fun. And the level 2 was great because just more learning about my own chart, but also learning about other people's charts and feeling more comfortable reading other people's charts for them, which is also, I find, fascinating and a lot of fun.
Right. So are you now, Barbara, are you considering being an astrologer when you grow up?
Yeah, definitely. I really wanted to say that probably what really impacted me in your work was the whole idea of falling in love with yourself. I've done a lot of work with self-love and all that stuff, but I really couldn't quite get there. And your program really helped me fall in love with myself, see my foibles and my positives, and be able to integrate them all and love it all, and really love it, not like love it, but really love it. And so that was so valuable. I feel like level 1 is like you have all the individual ingredients for your cake, and level 2, you get to bake your cake.
Oh my God, that's such a great way to put it. That's such a great way to put it. You got enough ingredients sitting on the table. Level 2, you put it in the oven. And by the end of level 2, announcement, everyone does a reading. And it's kind of shocking, I think, and I push people out of the nest. That's the difference between studying astrology online or in person for years, which I had students. That's how I figured it out. For so many years, people would be studying with me and I'd be like, have you done a reading? And they were too scared. Then I was like, okay, we're going to push you out of the nest. You have to do a reading to get to level 3. Are any of you taking level 3?
I am.
Lori, when do you come?
On my birthday, June 5th to the 7th. My birthday's June 7th.
And Jamie, you're obviously thinking about it?
Yes, definitely.
And I'm going to be in Toronto, Jamie, this summer in
cool.
August. Yeah.
I'm in Toronto too. I'm in Mississauga.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where are you?
And we've got
London.
Canucks. I love that we have so many Canucks in the game, that people that have, if you're having a really hard time, Canadians can communicate to us and say, this exchange rate is crazy, because it is crazy, the exchange rate from the American to Canada. But the point of the story is, everywhere you are. I love Kyle. Where did you say you were with that Southern accent?
I'm in North Carolina.
I love that. I wish I was in
But,
North.
you know, Deborah, I'm from Upper Michigan, so my dad was from Detroit.
Oh, that's so funny. So here we go. The stars. I love this. I was just watching that's what's her name? Greta. I love Greta. I was just watching the global situation that we have that's so giant in this world called climate change, and how the stars, astrology can, like the planet is under duress right now. We are in such a critical moment. I don't know why everyone doesn't talk about it all day. I think about it all day. But astrology's gift to the global warming is, at least if every individual back at the ranch was being themselves and back in their own self-love, we are going to begin to find our power again to go figure out what to do with this thing. But it starts off right here in the small personal self, and don't ever underestimate that. So I'm just so thankful all of you are here being the cheerleaders. It makes me so proud. And I feel like, I mean, forget the used car salesman. If you had to say to somebody, Kyle, why they should take the class, if you had a bottom line, what would you say?
It's definitely life-changing. And during the level 2, we had a connection in class. Nikki pointed out the past life connection. And with the stuff that I've studied, I actually connected the dots and actually seen where it manifested.
Wow. That sounds a little bit like magic.
Yeah. And then you add the cycles in, and I could go back and look at all the major events in my life and see what was triggered.
Isn't that crazy? Those Saturn cycles that are 100% true. It just makes you realize, this is my favorite question. Why does it work? But don't answer that right now, because you want to hear the coolest thing ever that's so exciting? This is crazy. And then we'll come to each of you, but I wanted to say this. I did on New Year's Eve, I was with a scientist in Maui who's doing for 10 years, a collection of 12 scientists who are all answering the question, what is consciousness? And they're PhDs and they're physicists and they're doctors and they're these crazy people from around the world. At the end of this time meeting this man that ran the whole thing, I said, can I look at your chart? And of course, he had Uranus conjunct the sun, Pluto conjunct the sun, he had Mars conjunct Neptune. He was this otherworldly character. He couldn't believe my description. He was like, no one's ever described me. I don't believe in this shit. But by the end, now I'm flying in February, the second week of February, to LA to be with all the scientists. They're paying me to go do a presentation to all 12 scientists and I can't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've said to the scientists, will you guys describe why this works? Can somebody explain this to me?
It's a map. It's a map, an ancient map that you get when you're born, and we're translators. We just learn how to read it. And what I love about your classes, Deborah, is the psychology and the astrology together. You gave me a permission slip to be able to use energy that I was guilty for. I felt guilty for standing up and standing out. I felt guilty about that. I'm very relationship oriented and I focus on other people way too much. And I realized I made a promise to focus on myself. And I thought, I don't have to feel guilty anymore.
See?
And it was such self-acceptance. I have such peace around that now. Peace. That's the only word I can use to describe that.
The best story. Jamie,
It's amazing.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you for showing up in June too. Lori, any words of wisdom? That was so beautiful.
If you really want to learn to accept yourself, you came in with this birth chart. It's a gift from the gods.
Going away.
To learn to understand yourself, to accept yourself, and be your true self authentically in the world.
Son, you give that to him, Lori.
That's right. I got Mars on my sun. And
That's
Deborah
right.
said I can. I blame it on you.
Blame it on me. I don't mind.
Okay.
Jamie, what would you like to give for your parting words?
Sorry, for me?
Yes.
I'm kind of agreeing with Lori. Lori, did you say you're Libra rising as well?
Libra moon.
Oh, Libra moon. Yeah. just parting words is, yeah, for what I learned too, with boundaries, and stop giving so much of myself to everyone, wanting to help people, but needing to help myself first.
Mhm.
And I think maybe a lot of people who are attracted to the woo-woo are givers. So probably a lot of people out here are watching this may need to learn that same boundary, I'm guessing. And so you can reclaim your power. And also by reclaiming your power, you have so much more to give to others. And it's coming from that authentic place, that grounded place, not from a place of superficiality.
clarity. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. I can feel that. And how about you, Barbara Lyons?
I would piggyback on that. Maybe that's my Libra rising. But I would say that, you know, of Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements, the don't take anything personally was always my sticking point. And so learning about myself, learning about other people, not seeing their reactions to things as being, oh my God, the sky is falling and my world is ending, being able to say, okay, that's their stuff. And it doesn't really mean as much as I put into it. And so definitely finding more balance within myself and having a relationship with myself first before a relationship with everything else.
It's a wrap. And now, you know who the famous, I'm going to do it. You'll love this, you guys. I'm going to do a reading for a very famous football player. And the cool thing is, when I saw his chart, he has count them 5 planets in Sag. 5. See, that's a classical athlete. He's got 5 in Sag and 3 in Scorpio. That is the quintessential football player, because Sag can hit people. And then Scorpio has a very strong pain threshold.
Oh,
That's just terrible. Oh my God. And his rising sign is 29 degrees Taurus. It's like someone else in here. So he's as solid
like
as
a bull.
tree. He's built like a bull. Like he just gets steady as Eddie.
me
And,
too.
yeah, I won't say anything else to just keep his privacy. But the point of that story is we can use astrology in football, in science, in yoga, in crystal stores. We can use astrology with our children, it goes everywhere. The stars don't care. They love everybody. See those little fish up there? It's a turtle.
I run a dog training business and I use it with the dogs.
Oh, wow.
How to get through to them and how to repair the relationships with their owners.
I love that story. We have a dog, it's a Sag. It's so true. They're sun signs. It's so true. Love that story. Okay, people, I'm signing off. Anything we want to add to the story? Kristen, how are we doing here as far as
We're doing
information?
great. I would just say registration is open until February 4th. You can email with questions. I'll put an email in the comments. We're just excited to welcome everyone.
That's right. We have the cart opened yesterday.
Yes.
Right? And we have a 10-day cart. So yeah, and I love what Kyle said. He waited to the last day. It's so classic. You wouldn't believe how many people wait to the last day. You wouldn't believe it. I don't know why. I think we should do an early bird offering that if you sign up now, you get like extra stars. You get a star because everybody waits. I don't understand that human nature thing. Why does everybody wait?
I came in an early bird. I got the early bird special.
Gemini.
Yeah, and
hurry up, everybody.
So we're actually going to go over to YouTube now too. So if anyone first time, yeah.
wow.
Okay, I'll meet you there.
No, you stay here and we'll sign up Facebook and then we're going to switch over. So thank you, everyone.
You stay here.
All right, we're signing off.
Signing off.
Bye.
I stay here.